Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Classic Reinvention, and this is It's Gotta Be the Hair. So today we have David Greenberg, and you're a professor?
I am a professor of screenwriting at Drexel and University of the Arts.
Awesome. So what I wanted to ask him about that I feel like a lot of people out there need to begin thinking about is how important is story and character development when it comes to working on your film?
Totally important. First, I always feel a film should be about something. You should have something to say. If you don't have something to say, then you're just making pretty pictures. Nothing wrong with that. My mantra is kind of like good stories come from good characters. Tony Soprano on The Sopranos was a great character. He was a mobster. He was a killer. He was a criminal. Had no intention of ever stopping, but he goes into therapy because he wants to be a better person.
Yeah.
That's a great character.
Yeah.
So think about what you want to say and then come up with a character who will serve as a vehicle for that message.
To me, it seems like the good characters are always like the hypocrites. Like you were saying, they're like they're one way mainly, but then they're trying to be another, which actually goes against like who they are. With Tony Soprano trying to be a good guy, how you're gonna be a good guy as a mobster,
yeah,
and
exactly.
different things like that.
Well, stories, conventional stories, and I'm completely open to unconventional storytelling, but in the conventional sense, stories are usually about characters who change and characters who start out one way and become another thing. In Spider-Man, Peter Parker's a geek who becomes a superhero. You see this in Iron Man. Tony Stark is an alcoholic playboy who if you look at the first movie, it's literally about him getting a new heart and discovering his soul. There's even a line where he says, I had my eyes opened up. I learned that I have more to offer the world than making things that blow up. Yeah. So he becomes a good guy.
So one last thing, with you being a writer, how do you go about finding inspiration for material? Do you watch a lot of films? Do you look at life in general?
I look at life in general. I go down the street and I see a story. Just on my way here today, I saw a family sitting out on their deck on top of a convenience store. And I thought, that's a mom and her kids. There's a story there. Yeah. Just around the corner, there's a bar, and people are sitting outside on card tables, having drinks, hanging out. There's stories there. Yeah. And there might not be 100% interesting story there, but there's this thing you do where you see something and you create from it, and that's called writing. Yeah. You make it up. If there's not really a conventional story there, you're allowed to make it up. Yeah, that's the whole point of being original. Exactly.
And because you figure everything is recycled in some way, shape, or form, but when it comes down to you as a creator, is how are you going to make this unique to you?
Yeah. And for me, I have I think if you're living and you're breathing, you're walking around, you have a point of view about the world. You have issues that are important to you, and you can find ways to express them in any film. I've done horror movies. I've written horror movies for people that talk about the state of education. Yeah. I wrote a movie about a vegetarian who becomes a cannibal. And I used it as a jumping off place to talk about the immigrant experience and greed and corruption and capitalism. Yeah. So yeah, you should have something on your mind. You should have something you want to express. Start there. Find a character who needs to go somewhere, who needs to change, and work together.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Any final words?
Keep writing. Just, don't stop.
Awesome.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.